Hi, I'm Terry Luck, Director of Communications at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church. Today we're going to do another Q&A with our pastor, Father Jeremiah Bolin. We're in the beautiful location of the rectory, and the focus of today's Q&A it'll be a financial update. And joining us today, our Director of Finance and Operations, Mary Lynn Januszewski. And later in the program, we're going to be joined by Vern Sebi, who's a parishioner and also a representative of Give Central. So you're going to want to hear about that. So, Father Jerry, here we are. September's coming to a close. School's underway. Why don't you give us an update on the reopening process?
So, the reopening process continues ever slowly moving us forward. And we've made some major steps recently in moving forward with this process of trying to expand the number of parishioners participating in the pastoral life of Our Lady. And I just have to begin with, again, thanking all of you for your patience, your support, your encouragement. Things just are much more challenging in this environment. And as we know, the reality is that we're going to be in this environment for some time ahead. And so, again, thank you for your patience. We've all had to make major changes in our daily routines and in our expectations, but we have really moved forward with grace and safety, and I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. Since our last Fireside chat, the school has opened. That was a major process of trying to implement literally hundreds of protocols to ensure the safety of our children. Our parish is 10 buildings, and so the simplest movements are complicated. And trying to make sure that everyone is safe and that we're not putting anyone in danger is our number one priority. I can't thank Dr. Mills, her staff, our faculty, and most of all, our children. The kids have been terrific in cooperating. They really are terrific, and it's just great to see this ghost town kind of morph back into a living, breathing place. And if you drive by it all during the day, you can't help but hear the joyous laughter of the children as they're about the work of the day. Our liturgical life, again, is going very well. We've expanded the number of people that can attend services, and the drive-in mass. Last week there were several cars. We become the talk of the town from many parishes around the area. People have heard about the drive-in masses, and they're really reaching a lot of people. I couldn't be happier with how that's going. And the Palladium Mass, the church masses are going great. We still have a couple of more confirmations to celebrate, and then once that's behind us, that might open up more time in the church for other gatherings. We're still not opened up as a parish for business. We have secretaries during the day. We can take your phone calls, emails. But the parish office itself is still very restricted. And so I ask again your patience with the time it takes for us to get back to people on different things. It's just a little more complicated. But I'm very, very grateful for where we're at this time.
That's great. All right, let's get to the heart of it. Parishioners are concerned about the financial state of the parish. How are we doing right now?
So, one of the principles I've come to see that sort of is true for biology, architecture, for medicine, for whatever discipline you're talking about, is how important it is to adapt. And, from the smallest plant in the middle of the Sahara Desert, if it doesn't adapt, it won't survive. Same is true for us as human beings. We've been discovering that during this COVID-19 crisis, of the challenging elements of this pandemic, and all of us have had to adapt to this reality. Last March 13th, when everything shut down, I, like most people, thought, well, by Easter we'll be up and running. Here it is, September 20th, and we are far from opening up. But you all have been great in your adaptive abilities. When I look at what we've been able to accomplish, the challenges and changes we've all had to take in order to keep going spiritually, the efforts we have to make to keep our spiritual lives alive when the normal things that we do, like going to Mass, receiving the Eucharist, is so limited. But adaptation is the key. And one of the things as a parish, in addition to being a place for cultivating the spiritual life, it's also a place that needs to be supported, in order for our mission to continue. And we've had to make tremendous adaptations. It's pretty hard when you depend very significantly on your collections and you're not taking up any collections. Like how does that work? Well, it's been working because of the tremendous sacrifices you are all making and the creative ways people have discovered to continue their financial support of the parish. Given the fact that this current situation is going to go on for quite a while, we need to be proactive in trying to make sure we can sustain as much of our parish mission as possible. The pandemic has had an impact on us financially. It's something that we need to address. Last year we were falling behind and we caught up, and this is another opportunity. With no pandemic, traditionally OLPH always needs to fall to get back on track financially because of the numbers of people that are away over the summer. This year that was compounded by the pandemic. So we must take that into account. Also, we have many fundraising initiatives that take place that are other income streams for the sustaining of the parish. Unfortunately, fundraising has come practically to a standstill. And so it's imperative that we're monitoring our financial situation. And I thought it was critical that you get a sense of where we're at today and some ideas that we have to kind of catch up, to close the gap between what our budget says and what our financial resources say.
Yeah, and it's such a shame because when the pandemic started, we missed out on the St. Patrick's Day fundraiser, and here we just passed the time that would have been the block party.
Yes.
So two of the biggest events, and then everything in between, and then coming up towards the holidays. So not having those fundraisers, it makes a big impact.
It does.
Yeah. Well, Mary Lynn, you've been here a couple weeks now. You've probably got your handle on everything, right? How would you assess the situation right now?
Okay. Well, after 3 weeks, it's hard to assess anything because I'm still trying to figure out everything that goes where. Given what Father Jerry had said, our collections are probably down about 22% as we're approaching the end of the quarter. And that is a significant amount when you take it in context of the whole year and what our starting point is, and how far we still need to go. If you do compare it to last year, it's sort of, as Father Jerry said, where we were at that time as well. However, last year, my assumption is we had a lot of fundraisers, we had all kinds of other revenue that would be coming into the revenue stream during the course of the year. We're very uncertain right now when those fundraisers will begin to take shape, although I think the OL Fun Run is being established right now. The church is still essentially closed except for a few masses, so therefore collections are still not what they are from the regular Sunday Mass basket passing. And also there's other revenue that always does hit the financial statements during the course of the year. We're uncertain as to what those numbers will be as well. We also have some concerns as to the expenses that we will have relating to COVID-19. And we have already tracked about $250,000 of expenses relating to that. And those expenses include special signage that we need to make sure people are traveling the right paths and are continually reminded to do the things they're supposed to do to keep healthy. We also have portable sinks in every classroom because the children and the teachers and anybody else who's in there needs to be conscious of washing their hands all the time. Eating in their own classrooms for lunch and not having a central spot for keeping the refrigerated items like milk and waters, and I don't know everything else that you keep in the refrigerators. There has to be a refrigerator in each classroom as well, so that they can simply go in their own established bubble to go pick up their milk and whatever else they need to pick up. There's been sanitizing going on at a constant rate almost in all the classrooms and between every Mass and church, and that has increased expenses, and it's increased the amount of time people have to spend in between the services as well. You know, we have 10 buildings to manage, and those have the additional costs. And as a result, we've made our school and our campus and our parish safer. However, there has been money that has been put out to make that happen. So we're hoping that as time continues on, people will still be able to be very generous as they have been in the past to allow us to continue to function in a safe, healthy, and spiritual manner as OLPH should.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing. Some of the things that people really don't consider how one thing has an impact on the next, like cleaning between every Mass, cleaning the church impacts how many services we can have.
Right.
Because we need that space and time to clean it. So all these things have an impact on something else. Well, Father Jerry, how are you suggesting that we deal with the shortfall that Mary Lynn was talking about?
So first of all, it's important just for everyone to realize where we're at, which is at about a 22% deficit. We more than made up that deficit last year with the sacrifices and generosity of our parishioners. I have every confidence in the world we're going to close the gap on this. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to be receiving a letter in an envelope. We're going to have a Catch-Up Sunday campaign to see if we can't include everybody. You know, we're all kind of, this time of the year in parish life, you're sort of getting back. Now, we're getting back in a somewhat different way than we usually get back, but nevertheless, as schools open and the autumn activities happen, there is a sense of getting back on track. And the Catch-Up Sunday initiative is to get back on track in terms of our giving so that we can close that gap. I have to admit I am nervous about this because of the prolonged nature of this pandemic. We could be in this for several months to come, and we have Christmas looming around the corner, and these are very important months in the fiscal cycle of the parish to get the financial resources we need to continue our mission. We want to support our mission. You have been so generous in supporting our mission in the past, and we're going to be very confident that we're going to bridge the gap and continue to move forward in building on the extraordinary ministries that take place here at Our Lady of Perpetual Help.
Well, you know, it's been fortunate that, you know, with Give Central, we actually started it last year. So we had that in place. And I know at the beginning, people were reluctant to use it, but now it's been so important. So why don't we visit with Vern Sebi right now, and he can tell us a little bit more about Give Central. I'm so glad you're here. At the beginning, you know, there was some reluctance just because it was such a new process, donating online. But I think people are really starting to embrace it. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about the process and how easy it is to use Give Central.
Sure. Happy to do that. In the parish, in the time that we've had Give Central, has made it easier and easier. So today, going on the OLPH Glenview Parish website, the same site that we sign up to participate in Mass and make those selections, we go on the website. At the very top, you'll see the word that says Donate. It's in the top menu. You click that button, and that immediately opens up the parish giving page on Give Central. On that page, you can make your Sunday offertory. There's also second collections. We'll be adding a button specifically for a catch-up, as Father Jerry had mentioned. So it's very easy. The Give Central site is built the way we all shop online, and the most common way that we shop online is that we fill up a cart with the items that we want to buy, and we check out and we pay one time. That's exactly how the Give Central site is set up. So you'll fill your gift basket with a Sunday offertory, any other second collections and other contributions you wish to make, and then one time you check out with your gift basket, and you'll put your payment information in. If you choose, and many people choose this option, they can create their own username and password. The system will save your payment information, so you're not putting it in each time that you come on. And that way, if you return to the site and make other gifts, the payment information is there. So that's the way that many people are setting up to make their gifts. The majority of them set them up to be recurring, and you can set your recurring frequency to your own income, cash flow of your household, be it weekly giving, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is. The other way that the parish has added that other people are choosing because they're more comfortable is text to give. So if you're more comfortable making your contributions to the parish that way, our text to give number, and I'm going to read it to make sure that I'm giving you the accurate number. The OLPH text to give number is 570-354-6574. That number appears in the bulletin about every Sunday, and to give that way, you simply on your phone send a text to that number, put the dollar amount that you wish to give, use the word Sunday, which is the Sunday collection. The same thing, if you've not used the text to give before, you'll get a simple link that'll come back. You'll put your payment information in. Same way, it'll save your payment information. So
I just made a big donation to Our Lady Perpetual Help Parish. That was really easy, Vern, just like you said.
all right.
Oh, it's so easy, Vern.
Very good. So you have right now a confirmation from Father Jerry.
There you go. It's very easy.
That is fantastic. And you know, just in case you're not aware, every time you see the Give Central logo, whether it's in an e-blast or in the website or even the electronic version of our bulletin, that's a hot link. So if you see the Give Central logo, you can click on it. It'll take you right to our site. And periodically, we also post the QR code link. So if you see that in our bulletin, you can point your phone at that, and that'll take you directly to Give Central. Father, it's so important for parishioners to know that it's vital that we use Give Central at this point.
Give Central makes it so much easier, and then it's a predictable stream of income for the parish. I also want to just make it clear, because this often, you can still continue to use your envelopes, you can mail your envelopes, you can drop your envelopes off at the church. There's a container in the south vestibule. But Give Central makes the whole process so much easier if you're comfortable with it and you would like to try it. However it is that you support this mission, thank you very much.
And thanks for joining us, Vern. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Vern.
All right, so here we are, Father Jerry. We're moving into October, and what's pretty exciting is we're expanding our service offerings, and what else is happening in the reopening right now?
So the first weekend, beginning with the first weekend of October, we're restoring the 8:30 morning Mass on Saturdays. We will continue to have the drive-in Mass at 5 o'clock. And then on Sundays, we'll be having a 9 o'clock Mass in the church, a 9:30 Mass in the Palladium, a 10:30 Mass in the church, and a 12 o'clock Mass in the church. So we'll be adding another Sunday liturgy. So that's the next step forward. I mentioned earlier that the drive-in Masses have become somewhat of a sensation with a lot of people. We're looking at ways to be able to have that Mass as long into the months of October and November, possibly December. We're looking into getting heating elements up on the platform where the priest is saying Mass, and having lights on the altar, because it's soon going to become darker and darker as the 5 o'clock Mass happens. But the drive-in Mass allows several people to participate that can't go into the church right now or the Palladium because of their health issues, but they love watching the Mass, they love being able to listen to it on their radios and to receive the Eucharist. So I'm hoping we can continue that as long as we can. And just, this is something, I know it's hard to be talking about Christmas, but a number of people have expressed their concerns to me that, will this be the first Christmas that our family wasn't able to go to Mass together because of the occupancy limits? And I've been racking my brain trying to think of how to respond to this. And what we're hoping to do is to do a very aggressive offering of masses on December 23rd, December 24th, and December 25th. Like, maybe 7 or 8 masses on each of those days, so that as many people as possible can go to Mass in the midst of the Christmas holiday. Fortunately, most people like to go to Mass on Christmas Eve, and we're not going to be able to accommodate the thousands of people that come on Christmas Eve. But if you know ahead of time that there's 3 days of many options, because I know families are making plans right now about visiting relatives out of state, and if you know that you could celebrate Christmas at OL on the 23rd, and you could just celebrate with your family somewhere else on the 24th, 25th. So more information coming on that. The bottom line is we're going to try to have a marathon of opportunities so all of us will be able to celebrate, if we can, the liturgy of Christmas.
Well, now Sign Up Genius, it's really kind of amazing how important that becomes, so that everybody can know what Mass they're going to. And, you talked about the way people have been adapting. It's kind of amazing the way First Communion and Confirmation, it went very smooth, even though you had so many different services, right?
Yes. One of the things, here at OL, we're so used to like these mega events of several hundred children, making these sacraments. And there was an intimacy of, when you have like 10 first communicants or 10 confirmation candidates, each child was able to have 9 guests so that their grandparents and siblings and parents, of course, and aunts and uncles could join them. There was just a feeling, of the power of those sacraments. And it's been a very great blessing for me, and to be in a privileged position to celebrate those sacraments with so many of our children. In October, we have a weekend for the first communicants of our parish school. So that will be another weekend of many liturgies to accommodate all of the first communicants in our parish school. And that, hopefully by the end of October, all the children will be caught up on those 2 sacraments in both programs, the religious ed program and the school.
Yeah. Well, again, that makes me feel better about adapting to the ways we're going to have to do Christmas, just based on how smoothly that went, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Father Jerry. Thanks, Mary Lynn, for being here and helping explain the financial situation. It was great.
Wonderful.
God bless
Thank
you all.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.